Hey everybody, welcome to SwJ. Today we're going to be talking about using natural bioluminescence to light streets rather than street lighting. And we're going to keep working on the project, my jeans project, my 20-plus-year-old jeans project. Yeah, they're neat. This is kind of a basic part. I just had the bottom of the jeans splitting coming up, and I wanted to stop that, so I'm just making a patch on the bottom here. So anyways, natural bioluminescence, which is if you don't understand or don't know what it is, it's basically how plants and animals and certain bacteria and fungus glow, that they actually produce light through a chemical reaction in their bodies. And in France, they are looking at making bioluminescence a source of lighting for public pathways. And the way they're doing this is pretty interesting. They're taking tubes with a liquid in them and running them along the pathways, and they run a liquid through those tubes that contains different bacteria. And those bacteria are bioluminescent when the oxygen content of the liquid reaches a certain percent. So the liquid is flowing through these tubes, and they turn on an oxygen supply in the water to turn the lights on, to turn the bioluminescence on. And they remove that oxygen source to turn the bioluminescence off. So at nighttime, you have a natural bioluminescent glow lighting up the footpaths. They're looking to make this larger scale. This is a very introductory scale project right now. It's only in one town. And the main drawback that they're having, cheers. The main drawback that they're having is light output levels, because bioluminescence, animals don't produce strong lights. Bacteria doesn't produce a strong light. It produces just enough light. And for current standards, bioluminescence only outputs about 25% of the required light. So, one thing that they're looking at is changing the standards. That's one way to do it. In certain areas, you may not need as much light. You can also use it just as supplemental lighting, decorative lighting in areas that do require more light. You can still use it, but in a different way. And another way that they're looking at increasing the light output levels is actually by using different materials. And one of the possibilities that they're considering is using bioluminescent mushrooms. So you would have planters along pathways containing mushrooms, which have bioluminescent properties. And you would basically walk along, and the mushrooms would light your way. And apparently the mushrooms have a higher bioluminescent output, and that would increase your light levels. Another way, I guess, would just be have more tubes. However, that would just get cumbersome, and if it is only luminescing to a certain point, You won't get your light output all the way up to a level. Like if you think of a bank of really weak lights, you know, you can have a whole lot of them, but if it's still a weak light, it's still a weak light, you know. I'm going to start back on the bottom. Down in this corner, I'm using a blanket stitch just to incorporate a lot of material, because it's a very heavy wear area, obviously. And I'm using a pretty heavy denim thread as well, just to hopefully make this last a bit. I don't mind the seams coming off the bottom of my jeans. That happens to all of them after about 10-15 years. But I want to stop it from splitting all the way up. I have shorts. I have shorts already, and I'll repair those one of these days on this channel. Actually, I might switch over to sewing my my jacket, my winter parka. I have an older Army surplus military jacket, Canadian winter parka, which just so happened to be the guy that it was assigned to had my same last name, so it has Friesen written on the inside of it. Misspelled. So it might not have been Friesen, but I've never heard of a Friesen. So people probably just assumed it was like an Anderson or something like that, a Friesen, and they were incorrect. Friesen, F-R-I-E-S-E-N. But yeah, Friesen listed inside the jacket, so I'm going to assume it was a Friesen and somebody just messed it up. And it is ragged. So I think that will be a project for the warm months. Patch up my jeans during the summer as I need. And yeah, summer here is the warm time. I think I'm going to call that an episode. I really do value the time we get to spend together. And yeah, thanks a lot for joining me. Till next time, keep chillin'. Don't forget your cookie. Peace!